Yeah, man, Luis Ortiz is getting old. He's getting old. I gotta start off the video with saying that. He's getting older and older, and he's not gonna look any more impressive than we already seen him. You know? And every fight, he's gonna look a tad bit older. But this fight here was like, okay, he looks really, really old here. you know? And not take nothing away from Christian Hammer. He's not a bad fighter. He does got some decent wins. He has fought some decent fighters, some good fighters. But not expecting too much from Christian Hammer. If we want to view Ortiz like an elite heavyweight, a highly ducked heavyweight, everyone is rolling with Joshua ducking Ortiz. Still rolling with that. Didn't really look like it. Didn't really look like it. And I like Ortiz a lot. I've gone on and said that he's my second favorite heavyweight behind Anthony Joshua. But I have to admit, he did look very beatable last night. I actually watched the highlights this morning on YouTube. And the highlights looked a lot better than what the actual fight did look like, halfway through the fight, in the second half of the fight, a lot of people weren't really feeling Ortiz like that in the crowd. They was wondering what's going on. There was a lot of dry areas. A lot of areas where no punches were being thrown. Both fighters looked tired. Here in America, no one is going to know who Christian Hammer is. Luis Ortiz has a following here, in New York because of the Wilder fight. The crowd was pretty excited. He got more of a fan base than Lara does, I believe. Because just based on the cheering that he got from the fans, and especially after the fight when he was walking through the crowd. So he has a fan base here, but there was a lot of dry spots, and he got rocked a couple of times in this fight. I think early, I don't know if it was the first or second round, but he looked like he might have got dropped. When they were over there on the ropes, Christian Hammer hit him with a body shot, and then it came back up top with a left hook, I believe, and Ortiz kind of like dropped for a second, and it looked like his gloves touched the mat, but he got right back up, and he kind of paused. Like it looked like he thought he got dropped. But the ref gave him a pass and called it a slip or whatever. But he didn't look impressive, Hammer had one goal, which is just trying to land a big right hand. And it connected at points. But it just wasn't enough. He gassed out. For a guy that's probably like at least 10 years younger than him, he gassed out just as bad, if not worse, than Luis Ortiz. But in the second half, it looked like they were both just so tired that there was not much action really going on. A lot of sloppy missed shots from both fighters. It just wasn't a good performance, It just wasn't. And I think anyone that had doubts in fighting him before will definitely take the match now after that performance. I'm sure that there's guys out there that looked at that fight. I'm not going to say any names, but any top 10 heavyweight. I will bring up Joe Joyce because I just brought him up in the other video, and Joe Joyce was looking to fight Luis Ortiz. And I said in that video, I said, I'm sure Ortiz and Team Ortiz did not want that fight. Because if Ortiz can't knock out Joe Joyce and can't knock him out early, Joe Joyce is going to be all over, Well, Ortiz didn't look that good, and the age is coming around again. And I read an article on BoxingWave about how Wilder might rematch him. He's considering a rematch now that the Tyson Fury fight fell through. And, we know it's Brazil out there. We know that Dillian White with Wilder is a fight that I want to see outside of the Fury and Joshua fight. I would love to see Wilder defend his title against his mandatory and Dillian White. But they're talking possibly fighting Luis Ortiz again. And as much as I thought Luis Ortiz was going to win that first fight, I wouldn't expect him to win the second one. He's not going to be any better in the second fight. He's only older, and Wilder already beat him, you know? Wilder stopped him. So I just wouldn't expect a better version of Ortiz. He's only just going to get worse every year that goes by, you know? His best years has passed him, you know, and it is what it is. He's still a top dog, not taking everything away from him. He's still a top fighter, and he still can probably beat most guys in the heavyweight division. But I'm sure these other top heavyweights are looking at him like, I think I could beat this guy, you know, if I can outwork him, you know. And anybody that can take his punching power, that can outwork him, that's a top heavyweight, can probably beat him, you know. So it is what it is. I'm going to do a video on Tyson Fury and his ESPN and the Wilder fight not happening now because it's official now. So now I can speak on it. You know, I thought the fight was really going to happen, but we're not getting a fight. So I'll do a video on that. And I gotta do a follow. I gotta do a review on the Lara Castano fight. So make sure you guys check those videos out and hit subscribe, please. Peace.